Hello and welcome to Plus One to Gaming. I'm Chris.
And I'm Erik.
And joining us once again are our good friends and stalwart table mates, Billy and Mark. Hey guys.
Hello there. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I'm super excited because Erik, you're going to take the reins and lead us through the second book in Candlekeep Mysteries, Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions. So do you want to take us away?
Yes. So, like Chris said, today we're playing I have a hard time saying this guy's name for some reason. Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions. I also always want to call it his dissertations. So I stumble on the name of this adventure twice. The first word and the third word of a 3-word title. So we did a quick introduction in the episode last, but I'm going to go over that again just in case somebody missed it. The year is 1894, the Gilded Age, the beginning of the Progressive Era. Grover Cleveland is president of the United States. Coca-Cola is sold in bottles for the first time. And a fire just ripped through a World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, destroying most of the building where you all met. You are all now on an Italian holiday. You are in the Vatican Library. You gained entry to this famed building using your fame and a gift. What did you give?
I'll go first. Hello, my name is Nikola Tesla. To access the Vatican, I gave them the schematics for my new Atlas Automail.
Well, hello. I am Samuel Clemens, better known by my pen name of Mark Twain, and I was given admittance just by giving them a signed copy of one of my more obscure works.
Hello, I am Harry Houdini, magician extraordinaire, to be known the world over, and I gained access here by donating a page from my Book of Magic, which will hold no writing of ink, graphite, chalk of any sort. It's quite a miraculous object.
Okay, so you three are on vacation together. Like I said, you met a year ago and formed a quick bond. So on someone's dime, whoever's probably the richest at this point, went on an Italian holiday. And in the middle of the holiday, you wanted to go into the Vatican and do some research. All of you probably on different things. So one of the three of you wants to study either magic and the weave, lycanthropy and its origins, or demon lords and the abyss. Who wants to study one of those subjects?
I'd like to study the Demon Lords and the Abyss to see where some of these tales of demonic possessions and demons and just pure evil comes from.
Perfect. So while in the library, you find a massive tome titled Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions. It is 7 inches wide and 9 inches tall. The brown leather cover is worn from time and use. The name of the book, its author, Mazfroth Gunther, is elegantly written in cursive with black ink on the first page. The care put into the front page, however, does not apply to the rest of the book's contents. Mazfroth's handwriting is messy and hasty, as if they couldn't write down their thoughts fast enough. Furthermore, the book's 151 pages don't all match, indicating that the author kept adding more pages. The book's stitching is haphazard and looks like it could come undone at any moment. So after you find an interesting book, the three of you retreat into a study. The Vatican Library is dotted with little studies off to the side so that their scholars can find books and go read comfortably in Italian style. I posted a picture on the Facebook group, just kind of what a Victorian study looks like. But it's very cluttered with leather chairs, leather couches, coffee tables, writing desks, fireplaces. Not too big, usually about 20 feet by 20 feet. And that's where you are now. The three of you are in this room, and one of you, Mark Twain, is studying Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions, and the other two reading kind of at their leisure.
Samuel, what of that tome you found? Does it contain anything interesting?
So after Mark Twain reads this tome for any given period of time, he learns that the Abyss is ruled by demon lords. Baphomet, Demogorgon, you had to pick the one that had all of the crazy fucking words. Grazjit, Jubilex, Orcris, Yingathu, Zimatami, and many others. Mazfroth ties the origin of several monsters to these demon lords, saying Jubilex created the oozes, for example.
I don't seem to understand much of what is written in here at all. It seems like gibberish.
Might I take a look?
Of course.
At that point, the book, while it's in both of your hands being passed off, you feel it start to shake, start to vibrate a little bit.
Oh, Samuel, did you feel that?
I definitely did. That was quite odd.
I knew there were power in words, magic in words, but this is... can I, turn it over and kind of inspect it? Did it change in any way?
You can, but I would rather you roll initiative.
Oh. 6 for Tesla.
6 for Mark. I have a -1 initiative bonus, so I'm guessing I don't go before Tesla.
Yeah, I've got a big fat goose egg for mine.
That's better than negative.
I rolled a 1.
Wow, we are on fire.
Just like with the punch, you were not ready. You were not expecting this.
All right, so, and this makes sense because this is surprising. So as you're holding the book, it transforms into a luminous but not too bright sphere of ectoplasm, roughly 3 feet in diameter. And it attacks Tesla. Damn it. And it rolled a 1. So while holding this book, it transforms into this orb of ectoplasm, and a tendril reaches out to try to latch on to Tesla. Your quick reflexes, its awkwardness in its new form, it misses wildly. The book then floats a little bit away from you toward Mark Twain. And it is Tesla's turn.
Oh, heavens, this must be the ball lightning that I've heard about. Am I within 5 feet of it, or did it leave my...
No, because I mean, you two are like a handshake away from each other, so we're all within 5 feet. I don't know where Houdini is. Probably, I would imagine in a recliner somewhere.
Okay.
So he might be out of range, but the two of you are definitely within 5 feet of it.
I will unveil my latest invention, the Atlas Automail, and try to use it to, I guess, get an analysis on this thing.
Okay. Explain that to me.
Nicola has, in this, I guess, kind of imagine him in a Tony Stark-esque kind of way, at least with his inventions. He built this kind of automail, which is his infusion. So it's like a suit of, in the game, armor of magical strength that kind of gives you, it lets you use your intelligence as your strength modifier. If you, you can basically swap out your intelligence with charges. So all of his attacks and spells kind of come from this suit of automail that he made. But with the identify spell, I'm kind of thinking I don't know, maybe he's got some kind of rudimentary computer or something.
I think we could do that. I think also identify could just be his magical brain.
Yep, that works. But yeah, I kind of want to get this is a scientific anomaly. This is a scientific phenomenon. So Tesla is in scientific mode, just really wanting to understand what this thing is.
Perfect.
So I think he wants to try and use identify to get an idea of what is this thing? What is it made of? What is its purpose? Trying to get working through his scientific hypotheticals.
Okay, so you want to use identify on it. Walk me through that spell because I don't remember it perfectly.
Choose one object you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. Oh, it's a casting time of 1 minute, so I don't think that's going to work.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I wasted all that time. I mean, I guess it did try to attack us, right? It tried to.
Yes, you feel attacked.
All right. Well, fuck it. Nicola's going to pull out his X-ray gun that he uses to X-ray things, I guess, and he's going to overcharge it and shoot a blast at it, which is basically firebolt. So it's just a melee or a magic attack roll. 16 to hit.
That hits.
8. I guess it's technically fire damage.
That's fair. Yeah. So you did 8 damage?
Yeah.
You pull out your X-ray gun and blast it at this orb floating in the air, and the fire from the charge blasts a small chunk off, and the orb kind of pulses in reaction to that. So it is Mr. Clemens' turn.
So I'm just going to call him Mark Twain because it's more fun.
And it's easier to say.
Yes. So Twain turns towards this orb and he looks at it, gives it a puzzling nature, and he goes, this object seems no more luminescent or terrifying than looking at the moon reflected in a placid lake, of which I do all the time. I don't see this thing being any real threat. And he casts vicious mockery to this thing. So as long as it can or has hearing, it doesn't even need to understand them. It feels bad about itself and takes 1d4 damage on a failed wisdom saving throw. My spell save is 13.
Okay, he rolled an 11, so he failed.
He takes all that 1d4 sweet damage, which is a 1, but he does have disadvantage on his next attack, which is
always a plus.
Always a plus. Anything else you'd like to do?
Not really. I'm not. Mark Twain is not very lithe and limber, and so he can't really get out. So he walks with a cane. He's old, so he can't really move. He's just sitting there, standing there, I guess.
All right. Then Harry Houdini is up next.
Harry will rush to the defense of his companions, and we're going to take a slice with my daggers. Attack rolls 21 and 6.
21 definitely hits. For 6 damage, you said?
No, the other one was the attack roll on the second dagger.
Yeah, the 6 misses. So roll me damage for the 1.
1d4 piercing, 2 damage.
2 damage. All right, so you jump over the couch, kind of run as quickly as you can to your compatriot's aid, pulling out your daggers, miss wildly with one of them, and get a nice slash right down the orb on the other for 2 damage. And again, you see kind of like a ripple effect around, kind of like it's a floating ball of jello. You see a ripple, but you didn't really cut off like a decent chunk of it, just a slash through. So this orb turns to Mr. Twain, and a tendril springs out, and he has disadvantage, but he still hits. So, because he hit with 18, and your armor class is 9.
Is 9, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
He's wearing a suit and has negative dexterity, so...
I didn't realize that when I chose you as a target, but probably good because he has disadvantage. So this tendril reaches from the orb and grabs you kind of in the middle of your chest and does 7 necrotic damage. And you take 1 form of exhaustion, or 1 level of exhaustion. While this tendril is connected to you, you hear in your mind, "Feed me, need life." And it is Tesla's turn.
Samuel, watch out. I will save you. And I think I'm going to use the automail. So I'm going to use a charge of that infusion to use my intelligence as a modifier to punch it in the face. That was off the table. Yeah, it's 14 to hit.
That hits.
Ooh, max that out. 6 damage.
So you punched it?
Yeah, so it's like kind of like an exoskeleton that he wears like over his suit. Just kind of like actuators. There's like a battery pack on the back. It uses Tesla's induction motor to augment the user's strength. So it gives you the strength of 2 Teddy Roosevelts.
All right, that's strong as hell.
But there's like some because of the harrowing events that happened the year before that Tesla doesn't want to talk about. He kind of built in a few modifications, but most of his like abilities come from like wearing this automail, which is also his armor.
Awesome. With the strength of 2 Teddy Roosevelts and actuator motors, punch this orb and land pretty firmly, pretty squarely in, the center of it. 3 feet in diameter is pretty big, so it's kind of hard to miss. And again, with kind of a satisfying thwack, you see the ripples around, like dropping a stone into a placid pond. And you feel like you did a pretty good amount of damage to it. Mr. Twain, it is your turn.
So Mark Twain is taken aback by the feeling of death, as the best way to describe it, and the voice that he's heard in his head. So he is going to disengage and just try to get as far away from this creature as possible. And as he does that, he's going to tell everybody else, like, beware, this creature is very foul. I don't know exactly where he comes from, but he hit me with this energy that felt like my life force was being drained. And he told me somehow that he wanted my life force. So I don't have much life force to give the man or being, to be honest, but I'd like to keep what little remains to myself.
Perhaps he did not appreciate you insulting him.
All right, so you use disengage as your action. You moved out of its range. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
That's all I can do. That's my
okay. Then, Harry Houdini, you are up next.
Quick question: can I take a bonus action at the beginning of a turn? I believe I can.
And yeah, any action in any order, so you can take bonus, move,
cool,
attack.
Yeah.
You could even segment it, like move, bonus action, move, attack.
Gotcha. I'm going to use cunning action to hide. Houdini will yell, "The great disappearing Houdini!" And he has kind of a puff of smoke when he attempts to hide.
Nice.
Kind of like a little stage presence. So it says I have to do a stealth check, but I don't... What number do I have to pass?
I don't know. I would assume like passive perception, but
so
I don't
take the hide action, make a dexterity stealth check in an attempt to hide following the rules for hiding. If you succeed, blah, blah, blah.
Hiding is just a DM call on whether you are out of the line of sight. Like, you can only hide if the creature can't see you. Like, if it's looking at you, you can't pass. You can't just...
It says DM compares dexterity stealth check of anyone hiding with passive wisdom of each creature on the opposing side.
Yeah, but that's if you're already hiding. Like, you can't... If you take the hide action, you have to not... It can't be seeing you. Like, if you're already hidden, it's easier to stay hidden, but you can't just, like, pop and go hidden when you're in the middle of, something's view.
So then, can I use cunning actions to disengage, move?
So you can use a cunning action to hide, kind of mid thing. So the way that I see it is like, because that's to be honest, the point of this skill is so that you can hide every round. You guys are in kind of a cluttered room. You can easily throw down a smoke bomb and like jump behind a chair and like roll so that you're like hidden from view. And then pop out and be like, bah! That's I think totally within the realm of possibility. But I don't know what it would need me to roll against, because this creature doesn't have at least listed passive perception or
might be
perception.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it's got a wisdom skill, but like it doesn't have. It doesn't even have a perception. It doesn't have skills.
Yeah,
or
it doesn't give you a stat block though, or like
gives me a stat block, but it doesn't give me skill. So I have the stats.
Yeah.
But
so I think you could just roll like a d20 for wisdom, add their modifier, and then that's their like sort of passive perception.
So it's a roll off. It's a roll off then. Every time he wants to stealth, he has to roll a dex, and I have to roll a wisdom.
That's how I would roll it, just to make it quick and easy. Like, yeah, you're hiding in front of them, so you have to kind of battle. You have to resolve that.
Yeah,
and then
that sounds cool.
Yeah, because it gives a chance of failure.
Let's do that. All right, Mark, roll off.
11 total.
Cool. I rolled a 1. You're hidden. Almost didn't matter.
Yay!
So you'd throw your smoke grenade, your little smoke bomb, and duck behind a chair or something. This thing, you are very confident, cannot see you.
Cool. So then I would like to. I'm gonna duck behind it, behind it, out of view, but nearby, because I still want to attack. And I'm gonna attack with my 2 daggers. So attack roll number 1 is 10, and number 2 is 14.
The first one misses. The second one hits.
Okay. I rolled a 1 damage with the dagger, and I would like to also use my sneak attack. Oh, you know what? Didn't I have advantage because I'm hidden on that attack roll for one of my daggers?
Want to point out,
Yes.
like rules is written, if a creature can't see you, you have advantage on attack rolls against it.
So then, if he's hidden, he gets advantage on,
Just the first one.
I was going to say, on how many of his multi-attacks.
Well, as soon as you attack, you give your location away, and you're no
Okay.
longer hidden.
Okay, so let's do that
Gotcha.
then.
Okay,
Roll-
well, that made
roll-
sense then, because I rolled 1. The first one I rolled hit. The second one missed, so I would have been exposed anyways, I think.
The first
So-
one missed.
Oh,
So,
it did?
so roll me
Okay.
another damage. Roll me another d20.
Okay. That is now a 13 plus 2, 15.
That hits. Roll some damage.
Okay. That is 3 piercing damage.
All right. So you pop out from behind an ottoman, and with both of your daggers, swishy slash this floating orb and cutting off, decent little chunks of it, watching the ripples run through, but it is still floating in the air, but it definitely looks worse for wear. And it is the orb's turn, unless you want to do anything else.
No. I do
All
not.
right. The orb turns to Mr. Houdini, and a tendril splits out of its center mass, reaching toward your chest, and that is a 17 to hit.
That hits
That hits.
for sure.
Whew.
Not again.
All right, Mark.
All right.
That's 14 necrotic damage.
14?
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Good
This thing-
lord!
This thing is stacked.
So Houdini, I rise in absolute agony and just collapse to the floor. I have 11 hit points. Now you see me when he pops out of stealth and then just immediately gets slapped across the face.
Harry, no.
That's all the orb wants to do, so it is Tesla's turn.
So as this thing has contacted Houdini, did it appear to change in any way? Did it seem to suck his life force away? I'm just kind of putting together what or Tesla's putting together what Samuel said and observing it for the second time. He's trying to put some things together.
So you would think, you would assume that, but you don't see that happened.
Okay.
It doesn't look any better for wear. You can still see all of the knife cuts and all of the punching dents and the fire burns and stuff like that. So it does not look healthier.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Well, this is what Tesla would do. He's going to use one of his features, magical tinkering. Essentially, he's going to use the one of the little cameras or recording devices in Atlas to record this creature for no more than 6 seconds. Basically, trying to either take a photograph or recording, whatever you'll allow, to get evidence of this creature, to get scientific documentation of this creature as it's floating there.
Yeah. I mean, both video and photography are around at this time. Video is in a very fledgling state. I believe the first motion picture had just very recently come debuted, or that technology has just been invented, and you are at the cutting edge of technology, so you would have it. So whichever you would like.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, maybe a 6-second clip of it just floating there, trying to. If this thing, I think Tesla imagines it being some form of energy,
Mhm.
and as a scientist in the field of electricity, that would be a sentient electrical being is mind-blowing, paradigm shifting.
It was like 1895 when the first like public movie was aired.
Yeah, I believe that the technology was like, it was definitely out at this time because this is 1894. So
you would have to been super rich and like a genius scientist. So if that all tracks, which it does.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with this?
Store it and log it for later. But like while it's there, while it's exists, I'm just trying to like role play the character.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it doesn't have any effect on the creature?
Nope. I mean, imagine, because it's like one of the Artificer's features, so I'm trying to explore some of those too. But I imagine that would be an action to do that, because like I'm essentially like using a little mundane magic to kind of do this.
Perfect. So you get out describe this to me. Where is it, like, on your suit? What does it like look and sound like?
Yeah, I think it's like built into maybe one of the shoulder pauldrons or something. To again, like this thing was built to help improve the work conditions of the ordinary man, and he imagines people being able to use this for mobility, but also like for working and productivity. So it has like these different technology things, like a recording device, maybe for like rescue stuff or exploration. So it just has like all these features built into it. So it's like a little, just like kind of like it's probably sleek for 1890s, but probably bulky by our standards. But like this recording device just starts to spin up and just only has enough juice for short clips, though. It's a limitation of the technology. 6 seconds.
So I envision it because like I know the cameras of those days like had like the like accordion kind of like middle. So the way that I'm seeing this, like you said, it's part of your pauldron. So like the outer shell is pretty hardened, and it kind of pops up like.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Like a trap door, and then accordions out like forward, so that it can be like retractable and compactable.
That's perfect. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and then there's like one of those like wheel things on the side of it that spins for how, like you said, like 6 seconds, which would be your turn.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead.
And then just seeing that Harry has fallen, I think he's going to switch to the buckler gauntlet and kind of try and step in between Harry and this force. Tesla doesn't have a strong constitution either, but he is loyal to his friends.
All right. Mark Twain, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to, once again, cast Vicious Mockery at the creature. It's really...
Ooh, just missed it. I got a 12. So he is viciously mocked, and it takes damage too, correct?
Yeah, it just takes 1 damage, but it has disadvantage on its next attack. So that's it. Also, just to clear it up, the hiding is the bonus action, so is using your offhand weapon, so you can't do both. If you're going to use...
Oh, yeah.
So
good note.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, that is so stacked.
Yeah,
I don't remember it being that stacked.
It's stacked. And also, like, hide... Like, rules are written, you can't hide from a creature that can see you clearly. Like, and so, like, it's mostly for, like, like a bonus action to hide when you already could hide anyway. Like, it's like a rogue that can just
that was
straight up hide
error.
every single round. Like, attack, hide, sneak attack, hide, sneak attack. Like, if you're
I
not
for sure have done that, though.
But that's what it's
with the crossbow.
If you're out, like, not right next to him, you could definitely be like in like hiding behind something so he doesn't have a clear view of you. But if you're in like melee combat, he's got pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is one of those areas too. Just however you want to, like, rules is written, or however you want to kind of deviate. That's that's a DM call too.
And this adventure is written for 4 to 6 of you, so you guys are probably going to need a little bit of help.
Yeah. Well, let's just establish that, though, if we want to. Like, we'll allow this mechanic just so we don't have to keep checking. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll allow it because it's also like Houdini's kind of thing. to be like, I like the way that Mark's done it so far.
Like, you could just
it
say that
wouldn't
it's
have
like
been an
he
issue
does
if
a
I'd
sleight of
played it
hand.
right.
Like he distracts him and then sneaks away. Like that's his thing. Like it's
That
the
would be
whole
cool.
thing. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, like that is he's a magician. It's all about sleight of hand. So that makes perfect sense. Like he doesn't.
But no second dagger.
No second dagger when he does. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's a resource, that you use up to do
Sorry,
that.
I'm used to playing with 4 arms like my other robot.
Yeah.
No, and also I just missed it because what I should have done would have been to hide before I rushed over, but just a new character, so it probably won't be an issue, the hiding thing in the future, because now I know to do it first.
Yeah.
That's fine. Speaking of, though, it is Harry Houdini's turn. Will you roll me a death save? Have you ever rolled a death save before, Mark?
Yeah, I die like every game. I did Google it just to remind myself, though. Okay, so Houdini rolls a 12 so that's 1 success.
One
Right.
success. Yes.
So
And
he goes, the amazing, and that's all he can get out.
so then it is this orb's turn again. And really the only person within reach of it is Tesla. So he's going to shoot another tendril out at you, at Tesla. But he has disadvantage. And your armor class is 16 now, correct? Because you have your
he's
buckler.
got his buckler up.
Okay, the first one hit, but the second one missed. So thank you, Mr. Clemens. You've been studying this thing for, the last few seconds, however long this fight has gone on. You kind of know its MO by now, so you're expecting this to happen. A tendril shoots out from the center mass, but you're able to move your buckler up and block it so it doesn't make contact with your body. It is now your turn.
Oh, Samuel, once again, your inspiring words have saved me. Don't worry, Harry, we'll get you out of here. And I'm going to expend another charge of Atlas to make another Atlas strike against it. It's a 13 to hit
That hits.
for 5 damage.
All right, so you punch this thing square center mass, and you see that it is struggling, floating there still, struggling to kind of hold itself together. Bunches of dents and cuts and burns in it. But it is still flying there, still floating in the middle of this room. Mr. Twain, it's your turn.
So Twain turns to this creature that's vastly falling apart, and he, with a little bit more confidence, even though there's a dying friend right next to him, he just turns to him, like, "See, I knew that you were weaker than you thought you were. Look at you falling apart like petals from a rose." Vicious mockery. Roll a save.
And it's a fail. So it only takes 1 damage, you said?
No, it's a D4. I've rolled. I
Okay, I was
rolled
gonna
one
say.
twice. I rolled a 1 again, so 3 1s in a row for me.
All right.
Makes up for everybody else is rolling pretty good. So
Well, this disadvantage is definitely helpful.
yeah, that's the whole point. He doesn't do a lot. He's an old man. He is not combat oriented for sure.
He's
Mr.
used to
Houdini.
insulting people, so insulting inanimate objects is harder. As an insult comic.
Roll me a death save.
20, nat 20.
So I believe on a nat 20, it's you're up, right? Like you don't have to do it anymore.
I think is it a double success? No, it's a double failure if you fail. Roll a 1. I think it is like it's an instant 1 H or 0 HP.
Yeah. You're stable.
Yeah.
Good job. But that's his action. He can't do anything this round,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to say anything? You want to do anything else?
Houdini. He finally finishes his catchphrase.
With only Tesla in range, he attacks at thee. Whew, and both hit. The orb sprouts another tendril from center mass and shoots past your buckler, just barely. Hits you center chest, and you take 11 necrotic damage. And in your brain, in your mind, you hear, "Feed me. Need life." And it is Tesla's turn.
Oh dear, I feel... Oh. Yeah, that put me down to 1 hit point. Goodness. Well, I guess the only thing really at this point to do is to see if we can power through this thing. You said it's looking kind of worse for wear?
It's looking very worse for wear. It is barely an orb anymore. There's giant chunks out of it. It's like dripping pieces off still. You think that it is not long for this world.
Well, it kills Tesla to destroy such a scientific marvel, but you cannot have my friends. And I guess I'll use another charge on this thing. Burning through them. 14 to hit.
14 hits.
6 damage. Nice.
What are you doing to this thing?
Yes, no, it's
punching it.
Charging up the activators. The induction motor spins and whirls, and that kind of like Big O kind of, where like powers up this punch and just does a lot more impact than what Tesla could ever hope to achieve.
Okay, so it had 6 health left. So describe it for me.
Oh, tight. Yeah. So, I think just the loyalty and love of his friends outweighs his scientific motivations at this point, and he activates the induction motor, which comes to a spin, activating the torque in the pistons, and a mechanical punch just thwacks into this thing, and I don't know if it explodes. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so there's a passage on here. I can't remember. Where is it?
I'm not sure what it is or what it's made out of, but I imagine if things were sloughing off, it would...
Yeah, it's made of ectoplasm. So yeah, when you punch it, it's like somebody made a baseball of Jell-O and gave you an underhand throw. You punch it and it explodes everywhere.
Harry, are you okay?
Yes, I've seen better days, but I'm alive.
Here, let me help you up. Let us take a moment to rest. I feel as though I'm on death's door. Samuel, how are you feeling?
I've been better, but these old bones have done a lot, and I've been worse.
So, are you taking a short rest?
I think
yes.
I think it's almost imperative because we have a guy that's almost dead and the other guy with 1 hit point. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But as we're doing that, I definitely want to talk to the guys to see what their thoughts are on this.
Yeah. So you're in a lounge. So I feel like this is the perfect place to take a rest and chat. That's literally what it's designed for. You will have to mind the ectoplasm splattered on the couches and chairs and carpets.
Well, Tesla does not abide by messes, so I think he will start by trying to clean some of it up to make a comfortable spot for us to sit.
Yeah. It's while they're resting, Twain reads a couple passages of a Yankee and the book, a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, which is one of his books. Kind of funny, and so he's reading that, and it's like his song of rest. So you all get an extra D6 on your health points when you do your short rest.
Ooh!
Oh, that was one of my favorites when I was in the taking reprieve to get over my sickness. Thank you, Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
So after your short rest, you no longer feel exhausted. So everyone who took a level of exhaustion, it is gone, and then you can heal. However much your rolls take you.
That song of rest helped a lot.
A whole lot.
So about that time, a Vatican helper comes. Basically your guide that's been kind of walking with you through the grounds and through the library. His name is Sprig Summerfoot. He's a small and soft-spoken Italian man. Let me find my Italian voice. I've been practicing all week. Oh, so Mr. Twain, what happened in this room?
I wish I could tell you exactly what happened, but I am unable to discern the exact experience myself. It seems that we were attacked by some strange dimensional being that seeked to suck our very life force from us. Some sort of demonic creature, I would assume. It seemed to be connected to this book that I was hoping to investigate.
Oh no, that's the third book this week.
Are you saying this has happened before?
2 other times with 2 other books.
I hoping that everybody was okay, but did all survive their encounters? Because it was quite harrowing for us, and by Jove, we had a world-renowned dexterous escape artist and my friend Nicola here in this amazing power armor that I think is the only one in the world. So, what happened to the other people that were attacked by this creature?
The other 2 people are still here. They are okay. Worse for wear for a while, but they happened in a more populated space, so there was more people to help. And I did not see this attack either time, but I've heard stories, and you are all very lucky to be alive.
I would very much like to see the tomes of which these creatures emanated.
So that's the thing, Mr. Twain. The tomes disappear when it turns into the ball of goo. So these books were used as entry. The same way that you gave us your book, used as entry to get into the library, and they turn into these monsters.
So these all didn't come from the Vatican. They were gifts. Hopefully my book does not turn into some weird creature. I mean, it's about me traveling across the United States. I believe it's the Tramp Travels of a Tramp, or Tramp Travels.
You do not know the name of your own book, Mr. Twain.
I forgot, and I did not put it down in my notes. I believe it was Twain, A Tramp Abroad is what I wanted to put, because I made it when I traveled across the United States, and I'm writing a new one right now for when I travel across this grand continent of Europe. So I thought I'd give the precursor to you as a small token. So maybe it's a good idea. Should I check and see if my book is now demonic possessed? I don't know.
Oh, well, your book is being processed right now by our librarians, and it is it is not like the other books that have turned into these monsters. Yours is a brand new one, and gifted by the author, which again we appreciate you, Mr. Twain. These other books, they were similar to this one, very old and very dilapidated.
Who brought you these dangerous, fraudulent books?
2 people here. They're still here in the Vatican. Come just within the last week or 2. One, his name is Yarlin High Scroll, and the other just simply goes by the name Valor.
Yeah, so there's too many coincidences here.
Yarland High Scroll, is that Scandinavian? It seems quite odd.
He's a British man, from London, I believe. And Valor is, I believe she is German. Or Prussian, at this time.
Well, if you've read my misings on that awful German language, which is one of my books, I'd much prefer to talk to the British man.
Oh, you haven't met him yet. You don't know. But I agree with you on German. It is a very clunky language. So I feel like that's a good place to end, because we have to talk to these other people and then do some more stuff, and we're already an hour and a half in. Do you guys feel like it's a good spot?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We can keep it kind of chunky.
That's totally fine.
Cool.
Yep.
And if you're going to talk to a British person and a German person, I have to work on my accents.
All right, we'll let Erik work on his accents. That's all for this session of Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions, circa 1890. We hope you enjoyed this reflavoring of a D&D campaign in Candlekeep Mysteries. It's certainly a lot of fun to roleplay. We'd love to know what you're doing in your Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions game. Let us know in the comments or shoot us a note at +1togaming@gmail.com. Subscribe to the podcast at +1togaming.com so you don't miss an episode of our live playthroughs, DM tips, character creation tools, and more. Stay tuned as we have some bonus content for you, as well as the next session in the second venture of this book. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.